What's up, everybody on YouTube? I realize it's been a long time since I've done a video update, and there has been some changes. I'm going to go ahead and eat my words from my last video, saying that I would never go automatic. Well, I went automatic. The reason I went auto is because it's a lot of work, especially at the track around here that's not always prepped very well. It's a lot of work to get the tire pressure right, figure out what RPM you're going to launch at, and then get the car consistent. By the time I start getting a good 60 foot and start seeing some numbers, seeing some improvement, somebody blew their shit up. There's a big delay. The track has been changed, and maybe they'll prep it, and then everything's different. So I decided instead of adding power, I'm going to add traction and consistency. The car now has a TCI Turbo 400 with a trans brake, a PTC. It's about a 5100 stall converter. And I changed the geometry in the rear suspension. I'm running stock springs in the back, and I'm running the cheap Summit like three-way adjustable shocks. I also went with a UMI adjustable, how do I explain this? It's the brackets that go on the bottom of the diff where you can drop your trailing arm mounting point. And I have a Hellwig sway bar. The brackets underneath the diff, the sway bar, and the shocks made a huge difference. You can see my adjustable upper trailing arms also from UMI. And then I'm running a roto joints where the rubber bushings used to be. Like I said, I have not added anything for power. Actually, wait, I take that back. I was talking about running a Brian Tooley cam. I did end up running a similar cam to that. So my duration is like 229, 240 something. And I got rid of the carburetor. I got a smoking deal on a fast, easy EFI version 1. Really basic setup. I basically set the air fuel kind of fat with the car on the dyno, set the air fuel to 12.6, and then sat there and ran the car at a certain ignition timing, and then pulled the degree away just to see where I would make power or lose power. Dynoed the car myself, made pretty respectable numbers. That's when the car was manual. I added a catch can, and as of 3 days ago, I did an ATI 25% underdrive super damper. This is my Durali. I don't even know how you say that, but that's my 25 row transmission cooler. Definitely a necessity, 100%, especially when you're on the trans brake. So other than that, I really haven't done much for modifications as far as power. This car, my best run ever, with this cam, with this throttle body setup, as a manual, my best run ever was an 1168. Admittedly, I let off at about 1,000 because I thought I was going to get kicked out because the car techs at an 1150. 2 weeks ago, let me show you a little bit of the inside. B&M ratchet shifter. I made my own relay panel because I don't really want to run the car's electronics on the factory fuse panel. I don't trust it. It's like 30 some years old, you know? So anyways, like I was saying, 2 weeks ago, I go to the track. I tested on the trans brake, and immediately the car's 60 foot time went from a best ever of 168 to 152, then 151, then 150. It's consistent on slicks and on drag radials. Right now I have 28 inch tall on a 17 inch wheel. Those are M&H Race Master. It's pretty much what I drive the car around on. But my two best times are on Hoosier 2610 drag slicks, and then Mickey Thompson ET Street R 275 5015. Like I said, my best run manual was an 1168, and admittedly I was letting off. This car 2 weeks ago did an 1106 at 120, and admittedly I bounced the rev limiter on my 1-2 shift because with a 26-inch tire, the engine revs really fast. So The car has a 10 in it, for sure. I have no doubts. There's a 10 there. And I'm going to try to get it done this weekend. I'm hoping by putting the roto joints in the diff and doing the 25% underdrive pulley, get a little bit better 60-foot time, maybe go 1.49 60-foot, something like that. And maybe I picked up 5 horsepower from the underdrive pulley. But the car has a 10-second run. It has it in it for sure. Stock bottom end, pump gas, 91 octane Arizona garbage gas. And it weighed in at 3280 with me in the car. So yeah, I took the hood off, but that was because I ran the car last June. It was really hot. My underhood temps were pretty damn high. So like I said, I want to get a 10-second run out of this car. And then my next step, I've been following Steve Morris Engines. I like a lot of his 1,000 horsepower pump gas turbo LS3 builds. And I think that's the direction I'm going. Yeah, I've already bought a turbo. I bought a Garrett GTX. It's an 80 mil with a 79.8 mil. Billet wheel turbo, ball bearing. And that's going to be my summer project. Not sure if I'm going to go stroker, de-stroker. I kind of like the de-stroker idea because I only have 3 gears. And if I add, 1,200, 1,500 RPM to the engine's power range, that's definitely helpful. So I'm going to see. I'm not totally sure. I got to, like everything I've done in this car, I do the math first. I do the math. I see what the gear ratio adds up to, where my RPM range is going to be at the end of the track. Like, I have to do all those calculations before I make a decision. One thing I will tell anybody about building a G-body, it's really critical how you do your rear trailing arms. The car's entire 60-foot problem was instant center. The mounting point of the rear trailing arms was too high at the differential. And then the Speedway upper trailing arms were too long, and it made my pinion angle tilt upward. When it tilts upward, it unloads the tires. The car isn't super powerful, but it was blowing off like ET Street R tires. Made no sense. That was the whole problem. I picked up almost 3/10. No, 2/10, almost 2/10 in a 60-foot just from that adjustment. The car didn't go quicker just because of power. It went quicker because instant center and pinion angle. Super important in this car. Unbelievable. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up. Sorry about the 2-year delay. I did put a better seatbelt in the car because, when you start going bottom 11s, it's kind of scary to depend on an old-ass seatbelt. Still haven't done my trim pieces. Don't know if I ever will, but if I get that 10-second run, I will definitely make a post about it. Like I said, any questions, feel free to hit me up.